I still remember that day as if it's carved into my bones. The sky was heavy, swollen with gray clouds, and the rain fell sharp and merciless. Each drop felt like glass cutting through my black suit, soaking me to the skin, chilling me deeper than the cold earth beneath our feet. My grandfather's casket was being lowered into the ground, swallowed slowly by the mud, while the family circled around it. Their faces were masks of grief, but I could see through it. The sobs were rehearsed, the sighs perfectly timed, the tears squeezed out like actors trying to convince a director they deserved the role. And my father, his performance was the loudest of them all. His wailing shook the air, but his eyes betrayed him. When the priest's voice faded and the final clump of dirt hit the coffin, I caught it, just a flicker. Not sorrow, not pain, but triumph. A glimmer of victory. First I thought I imagined it. But hours later when we returned home he proved me right. We hadn't even finished drying off from the storm when he summoned me into his study. His voice was stripped of any pretense, cold and sharp as a blade. The fire crackled behind him, but there was no warmth in that room. Only him, his smug face lit by the glow of the flames. "You're useless now," he said flatly, tossing a sealed envelope across the desk toward me as if I were nothing more than a servant. "Pack your things. You're out." For a second I forgot how to breathe. What are you talking about?" He leaned back in his chair, his lips curling into the cruelest smile. "The estate is mine now. All of it. 56 million. And I don't need a disappointment like you clinging to me anymore." That was it. No hesitation. No fatherly hesitation, no second thought. No pause to consider the years of loyalty I had given him. Every sacrifice, every achievement I had made trying to earn his approval, it meant nothing. In that moment, the man I had spent my entire life trying to impress threw me away like garbage the second money touched his hands. I walked out without saying a word. Not because I was weak, but because I already knew something he didn't. My grandfather had trusted me. He once told me, his voice heavy with age but sharp with wisdom, "Money doesn't reveal character, it strips away the mask." And he was right. That night my father's mask shattered into pieces. What my father didn't know was that the night before the funeral, my grandfather's lawyer, Mr. Allen, had pulled me aside. His voice was low, almost conspiratorial, as he handed me a sealed copy of the will. "Your father hasn't seen this yet," he whispered. "Read it carefully. And whatever you do, don't react until the time is right." When I read it, I nearly laughed. My grandfather's brilliance lived on in every line, every clause. He had left the fortune to my father, but only under one strict condition. My father was required to take care of me, house me, and provide for me for as long as I lived. If he failed even once, just once, the entire inheritance defaulted to me. But my father never read past the numbers. His greed blinded him. All he saw was the $56 million. Nothing else. So when he threw me out, he didn't realize he was signing his own death sentence. I didn't storm back into his office. I didn't shout or beg. I played the role of the discarded child, the one he believed he had broken. I packed a single bag, walked out of the mansion without a sound, and let him believe he had won. Because the sweetest revenge isn't loud. It's silent. The next morning, I sat in Mr. Allen's office. The room smelled of leather and old books, the heavy curtains blocking out the daylight, leaving only the golden glow of a desk lamp. My nerves were steady. My father strutted in minutes later, chest puffed out, a smirk plastered on his face. He bragged loudly about how he had finally cut the leash loose. "He'll find out what the real world feels like now," he chuckled, completely oblivious. He didn't notice the way Mr. Allen's lips curved into a restrained smile. "Mr. Reynolds," Allen said evenly, his tone calm but razor-sharp, "did you even read the will?" My father frowned, clearly annoyed at the question. "Of course I did." Allen leaned back, letting out a low, deliberate chuckle. "Then you must have skipped the most important part." He slid the paper across the desk, his finger tapping firmly on the bold paragraph. I watched my father's eyes move over the words, slowly, line by line. And with each word, the color drained from his face. If you fail to provide housing, support and protection for my grandson, the entire estate transfers to him immediately. Silence thickened in the room. My father's throat bobbed as he swallowed. His voice cracked when he finally spoke. That's not possible. I threw him out. Yes, Alan replied. His voice calm as a blade pressed against skin. You did. Yesterday. It's documented, witnessed. And your son has already filed a statement. My father's eyes snapped toward me. For the first time in my life I saw it. Fear. Real naked fear. His hands trembled. His lips quivered. You planned this, he hissed, spitting the words as though they burned his tongue. I shook my head slowly, my voice quiet but heavy with truth. No, you did. Grandfather knew exactly what kind of man you were. He left the rope. You hung yourself. The fallout was brutal. Within 24 hours, every account, every property, every car shifted to my name. My father's reign ended before it even began. Reporters swarmed the story when word leaked out. The mighty patriarch who inherited millions, only to lose it all to his so-called useless son. The humiliation cut deeper than the financial ruin. He had lived for status, for power, for control. And now, stripped of it all, he was nothing. And the beauty of it all, I didn't have to lift a single finger. He destroyed himself with his arrogance. Weeks later, I sat in my grandfather's old chair, in the very study where my father had once lorded over me. The portraits on the walls no longer mocked me. They reminded me of who I was, of who I had become. My father hasn't spoken to me since. Last I heard, he's renting a small apartment, drowning in debt, surviving on scraps of the empire he thought was his. His voice, once so commanding, is now reduced to whispers in empty rooms. Do I pity him? No. Because every time I think of him, I remember the rain, the dirt falling on the coffin, and his voice dripping with disdain as he told me, "You're useless now." He was wrong. I wasn't useless. I was patient, and patience built me an empire. And in the end, justice didn't need my rage. It only needed my silence.